Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel, man. I'm headed back to school. I am stuck in traffic, guys. To this date, I've been driving a couple of decades, 2 or 3 decades, and I still can't figure out how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-lane freeway, expressway, whatever y'all call it, can be clogged. Like, all the way up front, what is going on that would justify 5 lanes of an expressway to be at a standstill? I understand volume. I know about volume, but like, what is they doing up there? Even if it's volume, like, what? Why are y'all not moving? Way up there, why are y'all not moving? Anyway, so now it's the perfect time to fire up the camera, okay, and take a question. Now, Jacob Pittman. I got a question from Jacob Pittman. He got a 05, I know y'all, PT Cruiser, 05 or 06 PT Cruiser with a 5-speed transmission, a stick. Jacob has a no start, no crank. Okay, now from the look of this question, he was watching one of my videos on no start, no crank, which I highly applaud, Mr. Jacob. Good for you. Actually, I think you was watching the wrong one. I have several out there relating to no crank, no start, especially if it's a stick. The one I did, I think this one was a 03 or 02. It was a Generation 1 PT. Now, guys, there is a difference, okay? The electronics in the Generation 1 and Generation 2 is different. So the diagnostics may be different. In fact, the diagnostics is different because the starter relay on a Gen 2 PT Cruiser is bolted right next to the ASD relay on the firewall. Okay, the starter relay on a Gen 1 PT Cruiser is located inside the fuse box. Okay, that's where I did most of my diagnosis. That's why I do most all my diagnosis on a no crank complaint, not a no start. So, which means you need to understand the difference between a no start and no crank. I'll give you an example. This is a no start. Damn, it's not starting. Meaning you're cranking, but you merely simply not starting. This is a no crank. Absolutely nothing. You turn the key and you get nothing. Now, if you hear a click or something like that, yes, that could be the sound of your starter motor trying to engage. Okay, but from the complaint, you're not getting anything. And after reading that complaint or that question again, you stated that you purchased a computer tester. I have a hard time understanding what a computer tester is. Okay, unless you're meaning something like a scan tool and you're trying to read information out of the computer and you can't get any. So that becomes a bus network issue at that point. So if you can't even communicate, how can I say this? Because you can have, a computer can be dead, the insides internally shorted, and that will cause a no crank. But man, you have to, yeah, you're not gonna crank anyway if your computer is dead, like sleep, no power going to it, or it's not putting out any effect. So that video I did, I would direct you to it right here on a no crank. It was a PT Cruiser. That car, that problem turned out to be a PCM. But guys, keep in mind, that's simply because that PCM was not delivering the ground signal to the starter relay by way of pin, I want to say 85. Yes, a typical ISO relay, 85. In order for a relay to do its job, it has to have a power supply and a ground supply at the cores. The cores would then energizing, supplying voltage to the load, which in this case is the starter. So that particular video turned out to be the PCM. Now, in your case, you're saying you had a PCM tester and you can't read anything. Well, yeah, you got to start there, because that could very well be the reason why you're not starting. So it doesn't matter if your PCM not working or not. It has to be active on the bus network in order for cranking to be allowed anyway. So Yeah, forget the starter and all that. You have to find out why your PCM is asleep. Let's use that terminology, okay? And I don't know that offhand. You will need some way, some kind of scan tool that will read your PCM. And I don't know, if a dead PCM, like on a car like this, I think you said 06, so I wouldn't have my DRB, I would have another scan tool. And if my scan tool will not boot up, yes, you very well could have internally opened the PCM. Now, I think part of your question was you said you can't find another PCM. Then that's your problem right there. You have to start. Listen. Okay, let me do it like this. For any particular module to work, I don't care what kind of module it is. It could be ABS module, transmission module, engine control module, any computer related module. For any computer related module to work, it has to be supplied with a battery voltage and a ground. Okay, so what you need to do before you run off and potentially waste money on a computer is verify if your computer getting its proper voltage supply and ground supply. Nobody knows this by heart, what pin that comes from. Okay, but you can get a hold to a wiring diagram which will tell you this. If you're a DIY, I can't remember if you're trying to fix this yourself or what. But yes, that computer has to have a power supply and ground. Typically 2 power supplies and one that's power supply when you turn the key, signaling run or start. And of course, naturally has a ground. So I will go to the pins and find out if those circuits are complete. If they are, then it's simple. Yeah, your controller is just internally shorted. Okay, you will have to start there. That's the terminology we use at the shop. If you bring your car to the shop and I run that test, I'm gonna and I find out that power supply and ground is there, your computer just simply won't wake up. Yeah, I will bang on it a little bit and see if I can, slap it around. Wake up, even for a second. Because if I can get it to wake up for a second, that will let me know that yes, this is an internal computer problem. That's what I'm going to write up as the estimate. And I will, in parentheses, put start here, because guys, nothing is set in stone, man. You can diagnose the car by the book perfectly, follow instruction, follow the diagnostic tree, everything, and guys, you can still be wrong. It's just something about, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but guys, please forgive me about the sun. I'm driving and speaking, so I have no control over the sun and the lighting, but you gotta get that fixed, man, if you want to keep riding around in the PT Cruiser. Only thing I can say, you have to start. If your computer dead, find out if it's dead. It could be a blown fuse, man. Fuse protect the PCM from potential shorts. That's what a fuse is there for. Go in line between the circuit or item or module in this case and a potential load. That fuse will pop. That fuse will open the circuit in the event a load occurs or a short occurs. So verify that your fuse is good. If your fuse blown, then you got a different problem. It's not just simple, pull the old blown fuse out and put a new one in. You have a problem you need to track down. So good luck to you, buddy. I hope you figure out what's going on, man. If I was there, yeah, I would know what to check, but I am not there. So if you're a DIY guy, good luck. If a shop doing it, just they should know exactly what I'm saying if they work on cars. All right, I gotta go, man. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video.